everyone to Friday with Dannphan. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of an earlier stream today, just because of situations that kind of led to me having to do this a little bit earlier. Nothing to be worried about, of course, just, sometimes there's like stuff to do later in the day, and I only really can record in this room at certain times. So this is what we're going with. How do you like the new sort of new setup? I'm still thinking about changing the books around, right? I want to get some new manga to display, although I do like the manga that I'm displaying currently, but I want to get some more. And this whole book stacking section definitely needs to be changed at some point. I like the idea of displaying books, especially books that are on Burning Star Comics. Displaying some comics in the background is all good ideas, but there's gotta be a better way than this. It just looks clunky. I'm not a huge fan of it, right? And then eventually there's gonna be the poster right here. So do I make more space for that? Move the less books in the way, stuff to think about. But I can't really make decisions on that right now. I don't have the posters yet, and I'm just kind of unprepared. But hey, Friday with Dannphan. Fuck yeah. These streams are the best streams on the internet. 10 out of 10, where we just shit talk all the time. Am I allowed to curse yet? Did I just ruin the monetization of my stream? Although, yeah, let's be honest. Most of you are gonna watch the VOD. Most of you are gonna watch the VOD because I normally don't stream this early. It's generally on the YouTube sphere. Fun fact: it's generally a bad idea to stream earlier because, especially during the weekdays, because most people are at work. So you gotta stream later so that you can catch as many people as possible who would actually watch it live. Fun facts from Dannphan. If you ever have any general questions about stuff that I do, I can give you some insight. I can't give you all the insight in the world. There's still so many things about YouTube that I do not understand, but I can give you a little bit of insight here and there. That's one of the easy insight things that I can give you. Sorry, I'm starting this stream a little bit out of breath. It's 2 minutes before I started, I was like, man, I'm thirsty. So I went downstairs, got a drink of water, and then ran back up the stairs. But also, it's fairly dusty in here, so it's kind of hard to breathe. You saw the video where I went through, my studio tour, so you know that it's obviously very difficult to dust around this section. Because this is just the most cramped corner ever. Yeah. I watched your behind-the-scenes video. Very insightful and entertaining. Glad you thought so. It was longer than I thought it was gonna be. I wasn't expecting it to be 19 minutes. In fact, I was worried that it would be too short. When I was first, putting all the clips together, I was like, man, I hope this isn't 5 minutes long and people are bored. But no, it somehow ended up being 19 minutes. Most of that time might have just been the montages of me speeding things up, speed draws and putting up the posters, which was kind of pointless because I think it's much more satisfying when you're doing a speed putting up the posters montage when you have more things changing, but I didn't really change that much. So it's who cares, right? But yeah, I'm glad that you found it entertaining. I gotta find a way to make the comics stand up there. Yeah, I have some stands, but they're so big and clunky that I don't really like using them. There are smaller ones in the basement, if I could dig those up. Maybe those would be better? I don't know, because this book right here is just standing up on its own, basically. We just like opened it up and let it stand there. And funny enough, that works well. It probably works better than the actual stands that we have. But yeah, I really liked your drawer. It inspired me to tidy up. Yeah, so many people were commenting on that video like, oh man, you're so clean. It's like, this is clean? What kind of hellscape do you guys live in? I've got shit all over the floor. I can't move my legs when I do these videos. Like, it's impossible. Or maybe they just meant my desk. And like, yeah, I have to keep the desk clear because, I mean, it's not clear, but I have to keep it as clear as possible because I need to fit a tablet and a laptop on it. It's the same desk that I'm using for the gaming computer, so I have like the mouse and keyboard for that, and I just literally push it to the side when I need to draw, basically. Thanks for the $20, Mark Schaefer. How dare you have a Friday live at 1? I work hard through the week and look forward to my Dannphan stream. Now I have to interrupt my work day. How dare you? My bad, Mark. We had to do an earlier one. In general, I'm thinking about doing all my streams later, because that's usually the better way to go about it. Like Comic Talk Tuesdays, I want to bring those back. And sometimes I will just kind of have to do it as an edited video and just premiere it. But I would prefer to live stream them. I would prefer to just have guests on live. But they gotta be later. Like, originally when I was doing Comic Talk Tuesdays, I was posting them at, like, regular video times, which is usually, like, 12. But nobody's gonna tune into a premiere of a 1 hour long interview at noon, you know? It's just not gonna happen. So I'm thinking of now posting them at, like, 6. Just a little later in the day, you know? Not too late. Although I don't know if later is better. Is like 8 a better time? I don't know. I guess I should because you know you gotta also keep in mind the time difference. I think 6 is usually when my subscribers are most active, although I will have to check with analytics to be sure of that. Yeah. Have you read any bande dessinée or Euro comics? Certainly not recently. I don't know what bande dessinée, whatever, I don't know what that is, honestly. If it's a French word, then I'm sure that I'm mispronouncing it horrendously. Can't do French. My tongue, it don't work. Don't work like that. Had a meeting rescheduled so I can actually tune in. Goddamn. Very important Friday streams. I tried traditional, so I have more tools to leave out. Yeah, all of my traditional art supplies is, I don't think I actually showed it on, or it might have been shown in just like a brief cameo when I turned the camera and showed you like where the boxes are. They're just like shoved in the corner. But I have this giant container that just contains all of my traditional art supplies that I kept anyway, because I gave a lot away. And it also has like all my tax information and stuff like that. Just like everything that I don't have a filing cabinet for or any storage space for, it just all went into that container, and then I stacked the container up on another container, and then there's... Yeah, so like in that corner behind me as I'm drawing, there's just a stack of multiple containers just all in that corner. And, you know, some of them have important information in them, some of them have art supplies, some of them have books that we just haven't sold yet. It's just a mess. But it works. Everything's away. They're not like in my way, so it works, right? Let's see. You ever read the manga / hentai? Is it a manga or is it a hentai? Parallel Paradise? No, I'm gonna say no. I don't read any hentai. Not anymore, at least. We quit that train when I actually went into a good relationship. But, you know. I'll have to watch the replay later, but good luck with Reaper. My body is ready. Thank you, Captain Hyrule. I love you. You're the best. So, yes, Reaper is just 1 week, guys. I'm so fucking pumped. Are you fucking pumped? I got all of these cool perks getting ready for the campaign. Some of them are secret. Some of them I've been talking about publicly, been like, oh yeah, we're gonna have the cool sword bookmarks, you know, whatever. And some of them you don't know about yet. But definitely a lot of stuff to be very hyped for when it is ready. I should share screen and like show you. Present share. Always such a pain. There we are. There's the Indiegogo page. There we go. If you haven't checked it out already, I'm probably gonna edit this cover a little bit more because it kind of looks a little bit, I don't know, plain Janey. The painting is not. It's just, you know, I wanted to do a cool painting cover, right? Rather than doing the watercolor or the super digital looking coloring. But I don't think the painting turned out that great. It could be better. I mean, the reflection on this sword looks great. Somebody complimented me specifically on like the reflectiveness of the sword looking photorealistic, and I was like, well, I don't think so, but thanks. I don't agree, but thank you. It means a lot to me. Obviously, some of these comic panels have gone through edits since I last posted them up on here, but all good stuff. All good stuff. I don't know if my pitch is very good for the sign-up page, but hopefully my pitch is very good when I talk about it on these streams and in my videos, because I'm so hyped about doing a series like this. Like, you guys gotta understand, part of the reason why I've been so hesitant on doing a series for the longest time is because I know that you dedicate a lot of time into coming up with what's going to happen in the series and how long it's going to be and how it can continue on and on and on. And that's a lot of dedication, and if it doesn't go anywhere, if you don't have an audience behind it, if it flops, or if you don't really know what you're doing, you end up wasting all that time that you spent into it, and it feels very demoralizing to have to just give up on a series that you put a lot of time into. This is a series that I actually feel fairly confident in. I feel like people will really like this one. At the same time, I'm a little bit worried. Maybe it's too generic. Maybe people have seen a million things like it before. Oh, dark fantasy series with an edgy main character? Dannphan, why are you writing like a teenager? But I swear there's a lot more to it than just the outside, you know? There is like a lot of effort put into the writing here, and there's a lot of effort put into the world building as well. In fact, as I'm like finishing up book 1 of Reaper, I'm thinking, ooh, maybe I should do like a spin-off like light novel to talk about like some of the characters' backstories that are dead and gone and won't appear in the comic anymore. Maybe some people would like to know more about them, you know? Maybe I should... Yeah, but yeah. Because there's so much to it, I'm always thinking about like all these different stories that can be told in this universe. Hi Dannphan, why so early? Gotta do it early. Gotta do it early. It's just one of those things, you know? Sometimes the way that the day is scheduled out, I'd rather do it early than not do it at all. Because I hate it when I have to skip Fridays with Dannphan. These streams are always so fun, and I love talking to you guys, so rather do it early. Reaper is looking great. I looked at the 2024 preview comic. Yes! And if you, in the chat, would like to look at the previews, I can link that as well. If you're not sure, you think Dannphan, this is super generic, and you shouldn't be excited about this. You should be ashamed of yourself. I encourage you can read the 2024 previews. There is a preview of Reaper in that PDF. It's all free to go, right? And I bet you will enjoy it. Or at least you will think it's decent, right? Whew, only 1 week. Only 1 week to go and we're launching. And there's another thing that I was gonna, I guess, post about the next upcoming week is a Q&A for the Reaper Book 1. Since, a lot of you have read the preview of Reaper, you kind of get a little insight into the character and how this comic is going. That's probably enough for you to be asking questions about the character, stuff that you want to know. Even if it's just silly questions like, what's Ichabod's favorite food or whatever. That's all fine. I actually really like it in manga when they have the Q&A sections. Or the OBS, right? Is that what the SBS? SBS? OBS is a streaming platform, or streaming program. I'm mixing up all my words today. But yeah, I actually really like those sections of manga, and I want to do that. Or at least I want to try to do that in Reaper Book 1, because I think people would have a lot of fun with watching their questions actually get printed and solidified in history in the books that we're releasing. So that's something that I'll be interested in. Let me see. I know what you mean. After world building for one story, it's hard to not want to build on that. Oh yeah, well there's gonna be a lot of building blocks in place. And I'm not gonna always be lore dumping, because that's annoying when somebody just is constantly lore dumping at you. I like to go in, well, you've seen this in the preview alone. I like to do bit by bit, like give you a little bit of insight on what's going on and what this world is. But I don't like to just project lore at you, because that's annoying. And that's the way that I would recommend most people do it, is like give a little insight as it's relevant throughout the story. Don't just vomit out lore. Like if it's relevant to know, do a little bit, and then wait until it's relevant again to do the rest. You know? Anyway. Sorry, I'm a little bit stuffed up now. I think it's just because I was breathing heavily at the beginning of this stream, and it's dusty up here. So I'm just like breathing in dust and getting myself clogged. Ugh, God, I'm such an idiot. Not good. Anyway. Another fun thing that happened recently is the Elden Ring DLC. Is anyone else, like, excited about that? Is it just me? I mean, you know already, I'm doing a dark fantasy series. That's a big thing, right? And obviously, Elden Ring, dark fantasy, Souls game. A lot of inspiration comes from these Souls games. But, yeah, so I'm excited, and it took over YouTube. I watched like 2 videos. I watched like the trailer reveal, and then I watched like some other video of some dude like talking about it, right? And then my YouTube recommendations just explode with nothing but Elden Ring stuff. I was like, calm the fuck down, YouTube. It's not like it's the only thing I ever want to watch. I'm subscribed to other things besides Elden Ring. But yeah, I guess that's just how YouTube algorithm work sometimes. When they see something is going viral, they'll just like... anything with those tags, they'll just explode on your feed. And it's part of the reason why I just hate the YouTube algorithm. I absolutely despise it. But, you know. Yes, Elden Ring DLC looks awesome. I would be once I get and play through the main game. Yeah, in like 2 hours it already has 5 million views. My god. Did you see latest Nintendo Direct? Any video game pique your interest? I didn't see Nintendo Direct, no. But honestly, I have so many Switch games that I have not played yet. So, I feel like I have an obligation to maybe at least finish one of those before thinking about new Nintendo games. YouTube does that to me too, especially if I search for something I haven't searched for before or in a long time. Yeah, certainly a good week for gamers. Yeah, for sure. Elden Ring DLC looking cool. As you can imagine, already a bunch of theory videos talking about who Mesmer is, right? Mesmer? Am I pronouncing it right? I want to say Mesmer, but it is Mesmer, right? Because it's got the 2 S's. But yeah, I think it's kind of obvious that he's Miquella. I'm gonna stay on that theory until somebody proves me wrong. Because so far, all the other theories that are like, no, he's got a different name, and he looks different, so different guy. And it's like, no. Have you played Elden Ring? That's not how that works. People can change their appearance. They've done it throughout the whole game, you know? Oh, he changed his name. It's a totally different guy. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's how that works. I got a little beef with chibi reviews. Got a little chewy fat I've been chewing on. And it's because, as you know, Elden Ring was exploding on YouTube, and YouTube was just recommending anything Elden Ring. I believe Chibi took a little advantage of that, and he also posted an Elden Ring theory video, not to his gaming channel or anything, but to his main channel. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And let me tell you, sometimes that dude just uploads something to hop on the bandwagon when something is exploding. That's fine. It's probably part of the reason why his channel does much better than mine. He just hops on the bandwagon, I get it. But God, he's so wrong! His perception of Elden Ring lore is so wrong! Just said so many wrong things in that video. It's just like, I'm not even that much of an Elden Ring nerd. But I know he's wrong. I watch enough VaatiVidya to know that he's wrong about all these things. I know, maybe I'm nitpicking. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, like, it's bad enough he has all of these clickbait videos, but then he just posts an Elden Ring video, and he's just so wrong. It kills me. It eats me up inside. It really does. Oh, I should have brought some water upstairs with me, because now I'm feeling a little bit vomity. Thanks for the 10, Mark. We like you because you don't chase the bandwagon. Yeah, I do. I avoid it. I try to avoid it. Unless I'm genuinely very interested in something and I feel like it's relevant to the channel, I usually don't make a video about it. Not anymore, at least. There was a point in time when my channel was growing exponentially, it was growing like crazy. I was uploading like 5 videos a week, right? And I would just cover like whatever news topic was in pop culture, just anything. Even if I didn't really know that much about it, I would do my best to cover it. And that just didn't feel quite right, you know? I got burnt out really fast because I was just constantly talking about things that I didn't always care about. And I feel like the video quality suffered because I didn't really know much about it. You know? I wanted to make good videos. And I still kind of don't, but I still kind of make shitty videos. I know. But my pursuit, I was pursuing better quality videos when I decided to not do the 5 video a week, just covering any news article that I can, even if I don't know a lot about it. And, yeah, another thing is whenever I did cover those news I would usually like try to look to see what the popular opinion was first and just kind of generally side with that. Especially if I didn't know that much about it. Because I didn't really know that much about it, I guess. But yeah, that's not I mean, that's a good way to get a lot of views and to get a lot of subs, and to be very relatively successful on YouTube. But it just didn't feel genuine, and it bothered me that it didn't feel genuine. Some people it doesn't bother, and those people are probably the most successful people on this platform. For me, though, it was pretty bothersome. Didn't like it. So I don't really do those videos. That's how it goes. How do you work the writing process of your comics? Do the drawings come first of the worlds or the other way around? First thing is usually the idea, well, naturally, and then usually the outline. Once I have a good outline, I feel like I actually have a story. And that's when I can work on character designs and other things of that nature. Although sometimes I have the outline in my head and I'll do character designs first. I don't like doing it that way. Because it feels like when the outline is in my head, it feels like it's so much more flexible than it would be if I just, you know, wrote it down. Now, writing it down also makes it a lot more clear what your goal is for the story. So, generally, I say outline comes first. Let me leave you with some Reaper. Sign up for the Reaper mailing list screen for a little bit. I'm gonna go get some water before I, like, accidentally throw up or something. I'll be right back. Don't worry. We'll go on for a little bit longer if that makes you feel better. Alright, I think we're relatively good now. I got some water. It's a little bit better. A little bit better. I'm still a little icky, sicky feeling, but I'll get through the stream at least if I have some water. Hey, New to your channel, I noticed you have a Battle Angel Alita manga in the background. Who's your favorite character? Well, I think the basic bitch answer would be Alita, right? But I do like Alita. I have the first 2 volumes back there because those are my favorite of the whole series. I've never read the spin-off, right? The Mars Chronicles or what's it called? I should though, because that'll probably add more context. There's a lot of critiques I could throw at Battle Angel Alita for sure. But I do really like the beginning of it. It's got a good intro, you know? Like those first 2 books, you know? Good shit. And obviously the action scenes in Alita are like super inspirational. I'm not the bestest at doing action scenes, not yet anyway. I'm practicing it as I go on my comic making journey, but I would very much like to take more inspiration from those manga because they're just very well coordinated and everything. Well done. Ooh. Accidentally eat onions. Not today. It's funny. When you said that, though, I did kind of second guess myself, like, oh god, did I accidentally eat onions? That would explain it. Oh, no. But I think it's just a little bit of coffee, a little bit of breathing in dust and getting mucusy. Not good. Not good combination, right? I was detoxing from caffeine for 2 days straight, and then even before that, I was on low caffeine. So, had some coffee this morning, and I am zooming. I'm zooming the way that we all want to zoom. It's good. It's good for getting work done. Got like 1 more page to finish up, and then I can post the next Reaper preview on Subscribestar. For those of you who are subbed on Subscribestar, you get to like read the like $5 sub per month. You get to read all the newest updates of Reaper as I'm working on it. Good shit. I think it's a good deal. I would encourage people to sign up for that Subscribestar, but what do you know, I'm so humble. Hello, Dannphan. First time seeing a live vlog. Keep making good stories. Cheers. Thank you, my dude. Thank you very much. Alita is fantastic and influenced my work a lot more than I thought. Yeah. There's a lot of things about it that's super inspiring. A lot of good concepts in there, right? And then also, as I said before, the action scenes are just very well drawn. Very well drawn. And there was an anime that I feel like, well, the anime was fine. There's nothing wrong with it, you know? I feel like they didn't capture how cool the action scenes actually were in the manga. Like, the manga's crazy, right? And the anime is a little bit toned down as far as, like, what's going on in the action scene of the matter. But I guess that's just because, you know, a lower budget, and it's kind of older. It's an older movie, right? In the live-action version, I felt like the action scenes picked up a notch. I feel like the action scenes were really decent, really good in the live action, but still more toned down than the manga. The manga has the best, most hype action scenes, and all very well drawn. Like, just looking at the pages, it feels like it's animated because it's so well done. Hence why I want to take a lot of inspiration from those. But, you know. Where can I read your comics? Good question. Hang on, let me give you another link. So, I have my indie publisher, where I have my comics, of course. And then I also publish other people's comics. Yes. It's burningstarcomics.net. Yes. And of course, my newest comic, the actual comic series that I'm going to be crowdfunding, is coming out March 1st, and that's what the mailing list is for, so that you can be notified as it launches. It's coming out in 1 week. 1 week. It's very, very close by, you know? And I really hope people give this a shot. It's my first, like, real series that I'm going to try doing. With the ing at the end. But, yeah. So, hopefully people enjoyed that. Like I was saying before, there's a lot of stuff that I've been kind of public about, talking about, like what to expect from the campaign page. You know, you already know what the poster is gonna look like. I always have a poster tier, right? You already know that I'm gonna have like cool sword bookmarks. Those are pretty hype, right? The castle idea is kind of not happening. It was a cool idea, right? 3D printed castle. We ended up going with something else though. Still gonna be a physical thing, right? Because physical stuff is cool. But 3D printed castle is just kind of not in the cards for today. Maybe another time. Maybe another campaign. We'll see. But not today. Not happening. But we have other tiers that are kind of a surprise, right? And then I also showed the original art piece that I had. That's going to be the one of a kind tier. So that'll probably be the highest one. That's exciting, huh? Here's a question, I suppose. Dannphan, have you seen the drama with the VTubers Celine Taksuki and Niji Sanji Ien? I don't know if you watch VTubers, but there's some I think you'd like. You know, I've only seen a few VTubers on YouTube. They're not recommended to me because I didn't watch 2 VTuber videos like I did with Elden Ring, and it's just blasted at me for like a whole week straight or something. Fucking YouTube algorithm, so annoying. But yeah, so I don't know much about the VTuber community. I know that some of it is kind of shady, like some of those contracts that VTubers sign are like super shady and super fucking weird, but I don't actually know about the individual VTubers, so I wouldn't know about the drama. If you'd be interested in me covering VTuber drama, I'll add that to the list of random videos that I post on this channel. What do you think? Let me see. When do you think Reaper will be finished? Just to give you a general idea, right now I've done, let me do the math in my head, I've done like 70 pages of the story, and the story was supposed to be roughly around 100 pages. And I'm gonna have other pages at the end to kind of lore dump. I was gonna start making some art pieces for the chapter breaks, because I decided that I wanted to split it up into chapters to make it a little bit more easy to read, since it's fairly long. It's not super long. I mean, 100 pages is like child's play to a lot of manga readers out there, but just because I feel like it could be split into chapters, maybe it'd be a good idea to add in the chapter breaks. So, I'm pretty close to done. It'll probably take me another month or 2 to be completely finished. 2 if I'm like kind of taking my time. More like a month and a half if I'm rushing it, right? It takes a while to do those pages. It's like on my best days, I'm getting done like 1.5 pages. Because I'm redrawing a lot of stuff. And that's another thing. Because the original draft I wasn't completely satisfied with, because it was a little bit old, so I'm redrawing a lot of panels to make them look better. But yeah, it won't take too long to like finish it up. And then like as far as actually sending the book to get printed, that's like a little bit less than a month to have it printed and shipped to me. Assuming that I'm not printing overseas, which I don't like doing. I generally shy away from printing overseas. Part of the reason because of the shipping. The shipping is always very high up there, but also takes forever to get the books, and that's not fun. And then, you know, what if they fuck something up? That's even more of a hassle. So, probably printing in the States, and I'll get the books fairly quickly that way. So, shouldn't take too long. As an artist-author, what is a topic or theme that you'd like to see explored more of in media? That's not a bad question. Topic or theme? And that's very general, but I've often talked about how I like, and I guess I can plug as I'm talking about this, but I really like romance, right? But I'm really frustrated that a lot of romance stories out there are like kind of, for lack of a better term, degenerate, in the sense that it thrives on this idea of cheating, or the girl being very mean, or the guy being borderline a rapist, or something like. There's so many romances like this too. You look on Webtoon, you'll find them all. I've covered them on this channel, in fact, where it's supposed to be a romance, but it's so twisted and unromantic, and there's something very bothersome about that. What I'd like to see more of is romances where it's something to aspire to have, rather than constantly reading romances where they're all twisted, and then you get this sense in your head, even if it's subconscious, you get this sense that pursuing a significant other is a bad thing, because you'll end up unhappy in the relationship, or she'll cheat on you, or etc., right? And it's not generally healthy for people to have this mindset. So I'd like to see more romances where they're actually happy, you know? Call me crazy, but I prefer people reading the ushy-gushy stuff as opposed to always reading nothing but the super drama love triangle thing where, like, they're cheating on each other or something, you know? I mean, you look at The Princess's Jewels. What that is actually about is her collecting men for her harem. And some of them don't even want to be in the harem. She forces them in. And that's kind of rapey, if we're being honest here. It's kind of fucking weird. That's not... If that was my first introduction into a romance, I'd be fucking terrified of having a boyfriend, you know? That'd be weird. But, something else that I'd like to see more of, topic of Freerin, and I kind of briefly discussed this in my review, or actually I think it probably ended up taking up most of the review because I love it so much. I'd like more stuff that actually treats demons like demons, instead of trying to always redeem the demon. You know what I mean? Like Freerin, they're just like, a demon, kill it. And the demons are actually evil. So it's like, yeah, we did it, we killed evil. Awesome. But there's a lot of subverting expectations going around in media these days. So I'd like to see more demon killing stuff. And less about, oh, the demons, their feelings got hurt, so I want to pat them on the back, and then they'll turn good if I just, like, sympathize with them. Like, yeah, that's true of humans sometimes, but that's not the purpose of demons in fantasy. That's not what they're supposed to be. And you shouldn't equate demons as being the same as humans, because they're not the same thing. They're purposefully designed to not be the same thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I get it. Some people want to use it as a metaphor, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway. Yeah, a lot of romance stories, too pervy and no romance. Oh yeah, for sure. Could you recommend any good romance manga? Oh yeah, I got you covered on the romance manga. I take out my pocket and just pull out a scroll that I unravel. Just a list of romance manga. Oh yeah, I can recommend you. I should do a video recommending some romance anime. I thought about doing it before, but I didn't. When I made the video recommending anime for beginners, it didn't get too much traction online, so I was like, maybe people aren't really interested unless I'm bashing a manga or something, unless I'm talking bad about a bad comic, maybe people aren't interested. But no, I've got so many recommendations on the list for sure. If you want something for the ushigushi, like I was talking about before, something that I actually posted about recently, I was reading the latest chapter of The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. The anime came out not too long ago. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I went into reading the manga. And the manga is very, very, very wholesome. Very wholesome. No weird cheating drama. None of that nonsense. It's just two people who had crushes on each other. They get together, they start dating, and then they're just very nice to each other. Imagine that! They're nice to each other and they're slowly progressing their relationship, and that's what the manga's about. Imagine! This is crazy. Fucking nutso. Insanity. They're not cheating on each other? What? How do people so interested in a series where it's not dark and depressing all the time? Imagine. But yeah. If you want some Moshigushi, I can recommend that. There's also the spin-off of, it's not actually the spin-off, it's the original. It's called A Happy Marriage. Wait. A Happy Couple. A Happy Couple. I think The Happy Marriage is the Netflix one, which I can't recommend. Okay, it's important that I figure out which one it is, because one of those is fucking twisted, and then one of them is actually really good. Oh yeah, My Happy Marriage, don't watch. Stay the fuck away from that. Stay the fuck away from that. It's a psyop. However, the other one, Happy Couple? Yes. A Happy Couple is the good one. And it's the original of the manga My Tiny Senpai. And it's about the two characters before, My Tiny Senpai, the manga, and then later on the anime series came out. They made these two characters just a married couple that's just constantly ushi-gushi wholesome. And they're married and they're already together and it's just about their marriage. But yeah. It's so funny how those two series are kind of close together with their titles, but one of them is fucking weird and then the other one is oh, wholesome, ushi-gushi, yay! So, Anyway. Yeah, I should do a romance recommendation video. You'd hate Nagatoro, another bullying series? Yeah, I don't really like Nagatoro. There's other things similar to Nagatoro where the girl teases the guy that are a little bit less weird, for lack of a better term. A little bit less, the first chapter of Nagatoro completely turned me off because it was just kind of psycho. And then later on, they kind of try to reel it back, right? They try to make her less psycho the more you read, and make her a little bit more little bit more wholesome. But the first chapter is just such a turnoff that I just couldn't forget it. Like once you introduce her like that, it's just imprinted onto me. But Adam really likes Nagatoro. He says the same thing that I said, where it's like, yeah, the first chapter is like crazy, but after that, it just like turns into something different. And that's, that's its own thing. It's whatever. I don't hate people who hate Nagatoro, but, it's not my thing. I think Uzaki is somewhat of a better version of that, or what was the other one? There's this other one that was like these two kids in middle school, and she teases him. God, I can't remember what it was called. I think it also had like tease in the title, whatever it was. And then there's Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. That's another one where she kinda teases him. But that's also like really... It's not like malicious. And you can tell that it's not malicious. It's like playful. And I appreciate that type of teasing a little bit more. Takagi? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. You knew as soon as I started describing it. But yeah, there's that's kind of in of itself like kind of a genre in manga with the girl teasing the boy. I just feel like it's a little bit too intense in Nagatoro for me to read it. So, it is what it is. Yeah, what else was I thought like I was gonna spend the whole stream ranting about Elden Ring, but I should also take into consideration that maybe most of you, maybe a lot of you don't care about my opinions on the DLC, or don't even play the game, so maybe I shouldn't rant about Elden Ring for the whole stream. But my god, just trust me when I say Chibi's video is so wrong. I considered just making a response video, just like calling it Dannphan Destroys Chibi Reviews with Facts and Logic. Just make it as unhinged as possible. But yeah, so long as we're on the topic of romance though, it is pointing out that I've published a romance recently. I didn't write it, I didn't draw it or anything, but I published The Way Long Back. And this is a romance series where the couple, get this, they're actually nice to each other. I know I'm so stunning and brave. That's just crazy. But yeah, it's a very enjoyable series. I published the first 2 issues on Burning Star Comics right now. If you're interested in reading them, it is a recommend from me personally, not just because I published it, but keep in mind I wouldn't have published it in the first place unless I thought it was decent. It's good. It's a good series. And the art is so cute. Number one reason for recommending it, it's a romance and the art is adorable. Yeah, it is a little bit more of a romance drama. I don't know if that changes your opinion on it at all, but it's not using twisted means to make it more dramatic or anything, to make it a drama. Rather, instead, they're using other elements to increase the drama, such as, distance and Russian mafia and other things like that. But you have to read it. You have to read it to figure out what the heck's going on. I'm not gonna reveal too much. You gotta read it yourself. Ever heard of the anime Sing Yesterday for Me? You know, I have. I heard about it from Adam. That's the one with the crow, right? Or am I thinking of another one? This fucking girl who plays guitar and has a crow? Is that the one? I know that's a very crude description, but I think I've watched Adam watching this. And unless I'm thinking of another one. No, she has a fucking crow. That's it. That's it. I know that crow anywhere. It's the one thing I know about this series. Yeah. So, I didn't watch it myself. Adam's official review of that series was, it's a whole lot of nothing for most of it, but it's okay. So he didn't really give it a high rating recommendation, which is probably part of the reason why I didn't really look into it, is because he was like, well, it's a little bit boring, nothing really happens. But yes, whatever. If you can overlook some age gaps, how much of an age gap are we talking here? Because some age gap stories are a little bit extreme. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, sometimes it's like, whatever, but sometimes I was like, whoa there, buddy, what's going on? Are we talking like age gap, like one is in college, one is in high school, or are we talking age gap like one has a daughter and one is in high school? So, you know, a little bit. There's only so much that I can handle all at once. But yeah, romance. And demon killing. That's what I want more of. I want ushy-gushy, wholesome romances, and I want to kill demons. And yes, there will be some demon killing in the Reaper series. There's no, specific demon introduced in book 1. There are, monsters and stuff that he kills, and obviously undead that he kills, and this guy here. This is just a monster in the series. It's not specifically a demon, but you know, he kills it, as you can see. Yeah, it's fucking dead as shit. But yes, I'm pro demon killing. Pro demon killing. Call me crazy. That's my stance. I love Freerun for that. Which is crazy, because that used to be the standard. It used to be the standard to kill demons, and for that to be a good thing, because demons are evil. And nowadays, the standard is demons are not evil, they're misunderstood, and humans are racist. And that's terrible. That's a super terrible interpretation of demons. You know? I'm not into it. It was interesting once. It was a twist once upon a time, but it's not a twist anymore. Everyone's doing that. It's not fun if it's just so super generic and demoralizing for humanity. But yeah, that's my take. You know, even that Freerun review that I did, when I talked about how cool it is to see a new manga series that's actually pro demon killing and showing demons as being actually evil, there were still comments down below that were no, the demons in Freerun aren't actually evil, idiot. It's I'm pretty sure the whole point that the series was trying to hammer in your head was, yeah, they are evil. But I somehow still got comments that were no, idiot. They're not evil. They're not evil. It's just they didn't even have an argument for why they weren't evil. They were just oh, well, they eat humans because that's just their natural prey. That doesn't mean they're evil. Obviously, I'm not going to argue with people in the comments section, because that's just kind of, after a while, it just kind of gets a little bit silly. Like, how do you argue with someone who's so wrong it's outrageous? But, you know. Yeah. Exactly, right? The demons are evil and they're so evil. It's crazy. Like, they actually set up the demons in Frieren to have a complete lack of understanding of empathy. Like, they don't understand being empathetic towards humans. They can like humans, they can be entertained by humans, and they can hold, like, good conversations with humans, but they can never empathize with them. And they show that time and time again throughout the series. And that's, like, pivotal to what makes you, like, good and evil. You know what I mean? Like, humans are empathizing with the demons, and they're getting fucked over because of that. Because demons cannot reciprocate that empathy. So yeah. Anyway, my point is, yes, the demons are evil in Frieren, and we should have more series like that. We should have more fantasy stuff coming out where demons are actually evil. I'm sick of this super cucky, the hero left the hero's party and joined with the demons because they're better and humans are bad. It's like, wait, you're a human writing that story. So really it's just, what I'm actually reading is just self-hate for humanity. It's like Neon Genesis Evangelion all over again. It was like, calm down, relax. All of humanity is not as fucked as you think it is. In fact, the majority of humans are good. That's why demons are evil for killing humans. It's because the majority of humans are good and they're killing innocent humans. That which kills that is good is evil because they're the flip side, and etc, etc. Well, you know how that works. I don't have to explain that to you, but someone recently said to me that they wish there was a story with very casual dragons where it's not even that they're misunderstood. Very casual dragons? What does that mean? There's some dragon maid stuff going on? I don't know. I hope we go back to having villains who are pure evil and not sympathetic, misunderstood bad guys. Return to generic mustache-twirling villain. There's something to say about that. There's definitely some. I don't think that you have to make a villain you don't. Sorry, let me roll that back a little bit. You can make a villain have some sort of logic to why they do what they do. But that doesn't mean that they have to be sympathetic. It doesn't mean that they have to be right or seen as right for what they do, right? There's so many stories out there where they give a villain a sympathetic backstory in order to explain why they do what they do. But you don't have to make it sympathetic. You know, sometimes the reasons why we do something does not justify doing it. In fact, most of the time, I would say, if you're an evil guy doing evil things, the reasoning does not justify it. And yeah, right. Casually good. Oh, is that what? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Yeah, Thanos made everyone think they need an empathetic egomaniac as the antag. Yeah, you didn't need to make Thanos sympathetic either to make that story work. I mean, the original Thanos was certainly not very empathetic. His, like, motivations, I believe, in the original comic was that he had a hard-on for death. So he just wanted to kill more people in order to impress the literal embodiment of death. And it's like, sure, that's a reason for his actions, but it's not it doesn't justify his actions, certainly not. And, it's a very selfish reason. It's another thing people need to consider. It's a very selfish reason for killing a shitload of people. It's just because you wanted to impress death. But you know, reasoning like that is like fine. You're allowed to keep your villain being evil and then also make it so that they have a reason for what they're doing. And that's fine. That's totally a-okay, you know? Yes, he wipes out all life in the universe, yeah, right. Thanos in the comics was as bad as Darkseid from DC. Yeah. Something like that, yeah. Anyway. We are approaching the end of the Friday stream, so I don't know what I want to even end with, really. Well, I'll go over, like, the basic stuff, right? BurningstarComics.net. You can read my comics. You can read the 2024 previews. That's all stuff that's coming out this year. Some of it is already out, like we have The Way Long Back, issue 1 and 2. Those are brand new, just launched this year on the website. You can go read them and support the creator. I'm also going to have an interview with the creator for a Comic Talk Tuesday. That's coming up Tuesday. Do a little promotion for The Way Long Back. And yes, we have Reaper also. I'll switch. Show this. Yeah, here we go. My comic series. First one I've ever done. Very excited for. We got all kinds of neat perks for this one. And this is coming out March 1st. Or at least the crowdfunding campaign is launching March 1st. And super excited to show you guys what I got here. If you're into dark fantasy, you'll probably want to be checking this out for sure. Gonna be a ton of fun. I'm really bad at my pitch. I'm sorry. It's the end of the stream. I'm all like tuckered out from like talking about all these different things going on, you know? But yeah, sign up for the mailing list. It's important that you sign up for the mailing list specifically because once we launch, I'm gonna send out emails saying that we launched, and then you can back it fairly quickly. And the quicker that we get a lot of backers, the more Indiegogo will show it on their page, which means you can keep the ball rolling and get even more backers. So that's extremely helpful, you know? So, if you would like to see this book succeed, I hope that you would like to see it succeed. You can back the campaign when it launches on March 1st. One more week. Just one more week. And we get, like, fucking Coolio Reaper series. Each book is going to have its own subtitle, as you can imagine. So, we got Reaper Book 1, The Cursed Castle. And, I think Reaper Book 2 is going to be, like, The Beasts That Dwell, or something of that nature. I'm still working out the title. But, we'll have a preview of Book 2 at the end of Book 1. So you'll know kinda generally what to expect in the next book. Gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun stuff. I'm excited. You should be excited. How about that? Oh, did I forget? Yeah, I'll post another link directly in chat. Just in case you can't find the link to sign up for that mailing list. I got you covered. Yeah, Cursed Castle has a nice ring to it. Oh yeah. I mean, the castle is cursed, but the curse is technically coming from the sword that he has in his hand on the cover. The sword is like emitting the curse to the rest. So really it's the cursed sword, but it's affecting the whole castle. So, there you go. Anyway, nice website, looking good. Thank you. Definitely check out your comic. Thank you. I love you. You're the best. All right. Thank you for joining me to another fantastic Friday with Dannphan. Don't know if we'll do a gaming stream tonight. Oh shit. I forgot to tell you like the best part, right? I forgot to tell you the best part. We were barely talking about Elden Ring DLC. We should have talked about it even more. We should have. I didn't even get to do my rant about how wrong Chibi was, but I wanted to. One of the reasons why I wanted to bring up Elden Ring is because YouTube is pushing Elden Ring stuff so much. I thought it would be fun when Reaper Book 1 launches to do a Elden Ring campaign or playthrough with a character that I kind of stylized to be the main character in the comic. So, the main character, his name is Ichabod, right? Of course it is. Fucking edgy ass name. Me and my cringe self. I was going to make a character based on this guy in Elden Ring and play through the game, like as my character in the comic. And it could actually work, because I know a lot of items in the game that can do a lot of the like magic stuff that he does here. Like he can project scion blades with his daggers, and I know that in Elden Ring you have like the glintstone daggers that hover above your head. That's kind of similar, right? And then there's this other dagger where you can like sort of do a shadow dash with it, and he can do that in the comic. He does like a brief little shadow dash that gives him more invincibility frames, for lack of a comic related explanation and more of a game related explanation. But yeah, so I totally would do an Elden Ring playthrough, putting together an Ichabod build, and also like explaining to you how you can put together an Ichabod build if you did want to do it. It would be hard. It'd be hard to play as this guy, because I mean he fights with 2 daggers. You know what I mean? You gotta get that cursed sword. He's gotta get the cursed sword so he can fight with a long sword instead, because it's so much better. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be difficult, but I'm gonna be very happy to do that. So, more reason to, I guess, look at the game streams if you're not subbed to the gaming channel. I do them with Adam. He's a little bit spicy, so if you're not into spicy humor, you might not like him as much, but I love him personally. But yeah, so I think we will be doing that for an Elden Ring promotional, but also fun, connected to the campaign type stream. In general, it's nice to stream fantasy games. We've been streaming Oblivion lately. We've been having Adam play Oblivion, and I'm just kind of commenting as he plays. Because, I mean, there's no co-op in Oblivion, but it is very fun. It's a fun game. So, yeah. Fantasy-based games are A-okay for promoting dark fantasy comics such as these, right? And thanks for the super sticker. Very cool. Anyway, I've been keeping you here for too long. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this wonderful Friday with Dannphan. See you on the next Friday with Dannphan. See you on the next video that I come out with, which will be this interview with the Way Long Back creator. It's gonna be fun. Gonna be fun stuff. And then we're gonna kick into high gear promoting the Reaper campaign, which is coming out in 1 week. Yeah. So, have a good day, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye!